Hi everyone, welcome to Raaonline. Now I am going to talk about the mechanism involved in immunity. What are the objectives of the today's class? At the end of the session, the student should be able to define the immunity and enumerate the types of immunity, also to describe the natural immunity and acquired immunity, and explain in detail about the mechanism of humoral immunity and cell-mediated immunity. This topic comes under the competency number 2.10. What is immunity? What is the definition of immunity? The capacity of the body to resist all types of microorganisms and toxins that tend to damage the tissues or organs. That is called as immunity. What are the various lymphoid organs in your body? You have central lymphoid organs, peripheral lymphoid organs. The central lymphoid organs are the thymus and bone marrow. Peripheral lymphoid organs are the adenoids, tonsils, lymph nodes, then spleen and Peyer's patches in the small intestine, appendix in the large intestine and the other lymphatic vessels. These are the lymphoid organs present in your body. You have different lines of defenses in your body. The first line of defense is offered by your skin and mucosal membrane. They form a barrier against the bacterial invasion. Okay. And then second line of defense is by neutrophils and macrophages. They are very important in phagocytosis. And then third line of defense is through humoral immunity and cell-mediated immunity, which are mediated by B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte respectively. Coming to the classification of immunity, you have two types, innate immunity and acquired immunity. Innate immunity, which is present since birth, it is highly non-specific, whereas acquired immunity is more specific and powerful. Acquired immunity is again divided into natural immunity and artificial immunity. Natural immunity, you have passive and active. Passive is through the transport of antibodies from mother to the fetus and also through the breast milk. Active, natural and acquired immunity is by gaining infection. Suppose if an antigen enters into your body will respond to that antigen, the antibodies will be produced. That is the acquired active natural immunity. Then acquired artificial immunity, active in this active and passive. Active is by giving immunization like toxoids and other vaccines for polio, mumps, etc. And then passive artificial immunity is by infusing hyperimmune serum, okay, through the injection that can produce passive immunity for a time being, certain period of time. Whereas active immunity by immunization, it will be there for lifelong period. For example, vaccination against smallpox is eradicated, vaccination against measles is a lifelong immunity. Okay. So, this is the flow chart again showing the acquired immunity, which is naturally acquired and artificially acquired. Naturally acquired, again you have active and passive. Artificially acquired, you have active and passive. In naturally acquired, active is by gaining infection. Antigen enters into the body, naturally body produces antibodies, you will have active immunity. And passive, by the antibodies passed from mother to fetus via placenta or from mother's milk. Artificially acquired active immunity is through antigens introduced through vaccines. For example, tetanus toxoid, measles vaccines, mumps vaccines, etc. And then passive artificially acquired is through preformed antibodies in the form of hyperimmune serum, which are injected, that will be there for certain period of time. So, that is the passive artificial acquired immunity. Coming to the components of innate immune system. Innate immune system, it is present from childbirth. First line of defense is by your mechanical barriers, that is skin and mucous membrane, and then chemical and biochemical inhibitors from the salivary secretion and also from the gastric juice. You have hydrochloric acid secretion that acts as a barrier, and then normal flora in your body acts as a first line of defense. Then second line of defense by your natural killer cells, phagocytes, complement system. What are antigens? Antigens are the substances that can stimulate an immune response when enters into the body. Those are called as antigens. What is antibody? Antibody or immunoglobulin or the gamma globulins which are produced in response to antigenic stimulus. So, antigens, it can be either proteins or polysaccharides. The nucleic acid and fatty acids can also be presented as antigen in the form of nucleoproteins or lipoproteins. Okay. The antigens have a molecular weight greater than 8000. The antigenicity of the particular antigen depends on the regularly recurring molecular groups called as epitopes. What are aptens? Aptens are the low molecular weight substances that cannot induce immune response. Coming to complement system. Complement system also belongs to innate immune system. It consists of series of 30 proteins, most of which are enzyme precursors. They are activated by classical pathway and alternate pathway. Out of these 30 proteins, the 11 proteins C1 to C9. C1 is again divided into C1, Q, R and S. Totally you have got 11 proteins. The C1 to C9, 11 proteins are mainly involved in the defense mechanism. How this classical pathway is activated? Activated by antigen-antibody interaction. This antigen-antibody interaction activates the factor C1, that is the classical pathway. Then alternate pathway, how it is getting activated? Alternate pathway is activated by polysaccharides on the surface of the microbes.